Today in this class, I will discuss the poem Ozymandias of Egypt line by line. This is the poem included in the new syllabus of alternative English for HS second year class. So, let us first see a short summary of the poem. What is the poem all about? Before going to line by line, let us first understand the summary. Okay, short summary. Here is your summary. What is the poem says? The main idea of the poem is that the poet P.B. Shelley meets a traveler. The poet P.B. Shelley meets a traveler from a distant old land. The starting line of the poem says that the poet meets a traveler from an antique land. Antique means old, okay? Who tells the narrator, that is our poet. That means what we understood. We understood that here narrator is our poet itself, okay? Uh, the the traveler tells the story of the Ozymandias, or the traveler tells the story of his journey, how he have seen the half buried statue of King Ozymandias. The narrator tells our the traveler tells our narrator, our poet, that he has seen a statue which is half sunk on the ground. Half sunk means half buried. Okay. Now the poem is also a description of the or description of the geniusness of the sculptor who made the statue. The poem is all about the statue of the Ozymandias, and the poem tells us about the geniusness of the sculptor who made the statue. Okay. With our reading the poem, we can understand who is the sculptor here, or how his geniusness have been described in the poem. Okay, and the poem also discuss or says that this destruction of the nature with time, how nature destructs our environment, our property, our pride. The poem says that nothing remains permanent. Nothing remains permanent. At a time, all the things will be disappeared. This is the poem all about. I am telling you two lines that the poem is about Ozymandias, who was the king of Egypt. His arrogance made people fear about his kingdom. Okay, he also made his statue erect in his kingdom so that he could tell the people there mm, how he was famous, what he has done, what is his life achievement. Okay, and lastly, what happens? Nothing remains beside in the sand. Only the half sunk statue, means only the two legs were there in the sand. Nothing remains there. Okay, so let us try to read the poem line by line, and we'll understand the poem line by line. Okay, I will be giving the summary line by line itself. So let's see the stanza 1. Stanza 1 says, I met a traveler from a antique land. Here I is what? I is our poet P.B. Shelley. He says that he met a traveler from an antique land. Okay, the traveler came from an antique land. What is the meaning of the meaning of antique? Meaning of antique is something very old. Okay, meaning of antique, something very old. That means the narrator meets the traveler from a land which is very old. Okay, which is very old. Next, who said? The traveler said. Who said? That means here who is the traveler? The traveler said, uh, too vast. Vast means weak. Two vast trunkless legs of stone, too vast, too big. Trunkless means what? Trunkless means only legs were there, only the legs were there, nothing remains there, only the lower part of the body was there. Okay, that means what? Only the two legs were there in the sand, in the desert, in the sand in the desert. Okay, next, near them on the sand, half sunk, shattered visage, and there are also shattered visage. Visage means face. Okay, shattered visage, that means what? Shattered visage means what? Broken or damaged face. The statue of the Ozymandias, the face of the statue of the Ozymandias was broken. Okay, it is not in a very good condition. The traveler says that he saw two legs of the same statue which were buried, half buried on the sand, and the face, the condition of the face also was not in a very good condition. Okay, now I am giving you line by line summary of this stanza. Okay, let us see the summary of the stanza 1, line number 1. Here, I refers to here, as I already said that I refers to here is our poet P.B. Shelley. Okay, here the poet says that he meets a traveler who came from an antique land. Our poet says that he meets a traveler who came from a very old, very antique land. Okay. Line 2 says that, what is line 2? What is line 2? Line 2 is, who said two vast trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Line 2 says, the traveler tells the story that there in the antique land. Antique land means old land. Two vast trunkless legs were standing alone in the desert. He says that there were only two legs which were standing alone in the desert. Okay. Next, line number 3 summary, 3 and 4. What are these lines? Near them on the sand, half sunk, a shattered visage lies. Summary is, near those trunkless legs, damaged and broken face from the statue of Ozymandias is seen. Near them on that place, the face of the statue was also found, which is in a very bad condition. Okay. I hope you have understood the stanza. Na? Let us see the next stanza now. The next stanza says that whose means the statues. Okay, the statues frown. Frown means what? Frown means to furrow one's brows indecipherable, means whenever we become angry, our brows become frown. It is the expression of anger. The same thing the traveler says that the face of the statue or face of Ozymandias was in a bad expression or was in a anger expression. Okay, and wrinkled lip, sneer, cold command means the face is the face was trying to say something, to express something. What is the face was expressing something? He was expressing his anger to the people of his kingdom, to the people of his kingdom. Okay, next, tell that its sculpture will those passion read, means the sculptor who made the statue is very genius, who perfectly drawn the image of the Ozymandias in the statue itself. Okay, in the statue itself, which yet survive after these long years. The virtues of Ozymandias still survive in the statue because of what? Because of this sculptor who made brilliantly this statue. Okay. Now let us see. Let us see the summary of this stanza line by line. Line 1 and 2 summary is, line 1 and 2 is what? Whose means here the statues, okay, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command. What does it mean? It means the expression of disapproval, and arrogance is shown on the face of the statue of Ozymandias. I already said that the traveler said that by looking on the face of the statue, he can assume that the Ozymandias was very angry, and likewise he commanded the sculptor to make or to copy down his face likewise. Okay, and the geniusness of the sculpture also reflect in the statue itself. Let us see next two lines. Line 3 and 4 says that the expression on the face of the statue Ozymandias clearly reflect his facial expression when he was alive. Now, by looking on the statue, we can easily assume that what kind of king he was. This tells us that the sculptor is really genius. He skillfully mocked the expression of Ozymandias in his statue. I am already telling you repeatedly that the sculpture was very genius. He could exactly copy the expression of the king. Okay, let us go to the third stanza. Okay, what is the third stanza? The hand mocked them, and the heart that fed. And on the pedestal, these words appear. The statue is very what we say. The statue is very lively, na. And my name is Ozymandias, the king of king. What does on the pedestal of the statue written? On the pedestal of the statue, it is written that my name is Ozymandias, king of king. He ordered his sculptor to write this thing on the pedestal. Pedestal means what? Pedestal means the place where the statue is erected. Na? The statue is erected in the lower part. It is the lower part of the statue where the statue is erected. Normally, the statue is erected on some surface. Na? Pedestal means this. Okay, on this pedestal, these things were written. Look on my works, ye mighty and despair. Means look at my achievement. What are the achievement I have done in my whole life? Okay. Let us see the explanation of the stanza number 3. That is also line by line. Line 1 says that the hand of the sculptor did all the work with full dedication from his heart. The sculptor who made the statue was very courageous and very skillful that he made this type of statue. Na? Next line says that on the lower part of the statue, a few words were written. What are the words? My name is Ozymandias, king of king. Look at my works, a mighty and disappears. Na? These things were written. Line number 3 and 4 says that when the king Ozymandias was alive, he ordered the sculptor to tell people his name. That is why he has written his the name of Ozymandias in the pedestal of the statue. Na? Says his name is Ozymandias, king of kings, and he asked all the people out there to look on his achievement and lifetime works. By these lines, he means to say that the people should look on his works, whatever he have achieved till now. Okay, now he says so because he thinks the people will be very jealous when they see his achievement. The sole reason say this word because he thinks that the people will be jealous by seeing all these things. Okay, let us go to the last stanza of the poem for today. Nothing beside remains round the decay. Now the story of the poem changes to another thing, changes to another mood. Okay, now the poem is telling us that nothing will remain, nothing beside remain with the time of that colossal wreck, boundless and bare, the lone and level sand stretch away. Nothing now in the desert, nothing is there. Only the two legs is there visible. Two legs is visible, and nothing there remains on the sand. Okay, let us see the explanation of this stanza. The poem Ozymandias of Egypt ends with a, now the ending of the poem comes. What does the poet wants to say in the ending? It gives us a lesson. It gives us a lesson that nothing in this world will last forever. Like the king of Ozymandias in his lifetime has achieved many things, but now with the destruction of nature, nothing is visible. Only the sand in the desert can now be seen all around. Means nothing beside remains, only the sand we can see in the whole desert. All the buildings, all the sculpture he has made for him is now dusted with the sand. Na? That is the idea of the poem. I hope I made it clear. If you have any confusion, if you have any confusion, you can comment me, and I will be coming with one more video tomorrow. Thank you all.